Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, June 25th, 2024. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Here we have a super narrow range heading into the RTH Open, 18.25 points, just 37% of average range. And if you'll notice here, we've been in an uptrending market here, but have a super narrow range at the highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days of compression here. We can make this a 6-day narrow range and quantify that range right now against the average, and you'll see how compressed it is here at the moment. 57% of ADR, and that is forecasting a range anywhere between 166 and 210 points of range up ahead upon an expansion event. So if we get an expansion here up ahead, we could be looking at a move that takes us about 200 points. And if it's to the downside, any break, say, through the 5,500 level, you could be dropping into about 5,300 down below. That'd be a 200 point drop. If we see some sort of failure here, say it drops, pulls back to 5,450 and then starts a rally, perhaps there can be a 200 point rally into 5650. So we'll see how this develops here out of this range. But clearly this thing is compressed, building energy for the next move ahead. The uptrend is still intact. The uptrend still clearly intact, but we are starting to see signs of perhaps overvalued situation here. This is year-to-date VWAP, and this is 3 standard deviations above VWAP right now, with a box developing above that. So there could be a rotation back down and a reversion to mean from that perspective. If we take a look here at the NQ, this one fared a little bit more bearishly in the previous session than the ES, dropping through 20,000 here and ending up around 19,750. This market right now also showing a little bit of compression here today heading into the RTH Open. 125 points of range. We can drop this back down. And also showing just 48% of average range at the moment, so compressed. A little bit of a bounce back here after some tech selling pressure in the previous session. A lot of big tech names, including NVDA and Amazon, for example, selling off quite harshly here over the past either day or few days, and this market here has definitely seen some pullback here from the highs of 20,371. Like the ES here, there could be a little bit of a pullback here up ahead or further pullback. You can see right here that is the 3rd standard deviation above value as well on the year-to-date VWAP. So yearly PivotBoss band showing overvalued situation, where that means we could be looking at a little bit of a reversion to the mean up ahead, perhaps a fill back toward the FOMC key level from June 12th. So still working our way down at the moment, and if we're going to continue to work our way down, any morning pullback, any morning strength could be seen as a selling opportunity for a continuation down up ahead. Now this market again still in a very bullish uptrend here, so short term, this market remains very, very strong. Medium term, it remains strong. If this thing can push back through 20,000, it starts to open up a buy the dip situation. But again, with some broader tech weakness here, it wouldn't be surprising if we made a little bit more of a push back down. Now, taking a look here at crude oil, this one is developing within a 3-day narrow range right now. That is now turning into a 4-day narrow range at these highs. This market rallied. It got our 80.62 level and beyond, and has been very close to getting that 82 level. So once price pushed through this level here, we were looking for 80.62, which is the edge right here, and somewhere between 81 and 82 for this market to top out. And then once we see that, we could be looking at a rotation back down towards 76.55 up ahead. Still a very bullish move here, so we haven't seen really much in the way of weakness. But if you look at this thing on a 4-day range basis, there is definitely some compression here that is played out. 1, 2, 3, 4 days right here compressed. And for the most part, that 4-day compression here is suggesting somewhere in the range of about 4 points up ahead. 4 points of range could be seen on a breakout move. Again, if it's to the upside, any pullback to 80 and you're looking at 84 up ahead. If we fail off at 82, then 78 could be in play. We'll see how this thing develops overall, but the uptrend still remains intact from a near-term perspective. You start to fail at 80 though, and that's where things open up to the downside. So right now, building out in this range right now, and looking for today being a down a day situation. So up a day, down a day, up a day, down a day within the range with a thrust reversal sell signal developing. Looking at gold futures, gold continues to be range bound, continues to kind of hug the 2350 level. This market continues to remain stuck in the mud. We've had 1 day downs, 1 day ups, and for the most part it just can't get away from the 2350 level. This market clearly compressing, but we are starting to see some signs here of a rounded top. Rounded top type of behavior developing, and that could be bearish. If that thing leads to some weakness up ahead, any pullback, there's a deep pullback even in 2200, could be a tremendous buying opportunity back across the range. Right now, we're just kind of waiting for this market to make a move to an edge. 2450 here, 2250 here. Which way is it going to go? Until then, it's kind of stuck in the range, and you have to avoid the chop near the center. Looking at the YM. YM right now, pulling back a little bit. This thing has had quite a bit of strength ever since it broke through the top of this kind of funky narrow range here. Got the upside break here, and we were looking for a move to 40,000 from that breakout move, and it got within 1 point. 39,999 was the high in the previous session. Today, inside day, so a little bit of a compression day here, a little bit of a pullback day. Now, is this going to lead to a full-on reversal back down toward the June FOMC key level? That'd be 38,834 down below. This market here has not really seen or had an ability to find acceptance beyond the previous quarter's close price or high price. It's been rejected each and every time. We'll see again if this thing starts to push through today's the previous session's midpoint here. That could open up quite a bit more downside for the day. Previous session's mid, 39,731s. A quick look at Bitcoin here. A little bit of a bounce back after heavy selling pressure in the previous session. This thing dropped and closed below 60K, and currently seeing a little bit of a bounce above year-to-date VWAP. Last time it touched year-to-date VWAP, this thing rallied quite a bit. Rallied about 15,000 points straight up. So at the moment, this thing at the bottom of a large trading range right now. Back at the beginning of the month here, we mentioned up here that we could be a little toppy and rotate back towards 66K. A failure at 66 opens up the bottom. And so we've seen that play out throughout the month here. This was a heavy day down, big time selling pressure throughout the day, and that could be an indication of maybe a snapback opportunity coming. So a little bit of a bounce back day today. As long as this thing remains above 57,500 or 57K even, we're still inside this range. Now ETH futures up about 2.33%. This one's also slid here this month, but hasn't really fallen off as bad as Bitcoin has yet. It is sitting right on 3,300, 3,400, that zone right there. And that's still kind of the mid zone here. If it fails through 3,300, you open up 28. And then at that point, there could be a bounce opportunity off of that area. So again, this one's still within a super large trading range right now. Could be a little bit more downside here for this one. But if we get into the 2,800 zone, that could be another opportunity to buy the dip. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out here heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.